we wind down the baseball calendar to October, we have a new player entering the chat for National League MVP, and it is one of our faves. Going way back to Chicago, everybody. May the Schwarbs be with you. It is Kyle Schwarber, who now has 40 home runs after last night's game to lead the National League. He has surpassed the great Ohtani, everyone. It is now Kyle Schwarber at the top of the list, and I think he has 94 RBIs, if I remember correctly from the article I'm about to read you.
So he gets on base.
Yeah, but basically this has got everybody in the baseball universe this morning talking. Mm-hmm. Is Kyle Schwarber a National League MVP candidate now? And has he taken over the great Ohtani and also Pete Crow-Armstrong? Which I would have to say, like, kind of, on Pete Crow. Like,
he's been quiet.
He's been a little quiet since the All-Star break. Mm-hmm. I think he left his
mojo,
his bat at the All-Star game party.
Oh yeah, well he did.
I heard things. I said. Charlotte Varnes for The Athletic wrote this article last night and updated it also again this morning at 5:45 a.m. But if you watch video of Kyle Schwarber hitting this grand slam, there's a great video posted by MLB on X where you just hear the crowd noise. You don't hear the commentary booth. You just hear the crowd, and they are clearly chanting for number 12, Kyle Schwarber, to be their MVP, you know? And that's amazing to me. On a team with Bryce Harper, you have Kyle Schwarber getting the MVP chance now.
Harper has been quiet as well. You don't hear his name mentioned as much as it was last year.
You don't. And Kyle Schwarber, I think, has become the MVP of this team, if I'm being honest. He's the most valuable Philly.
Yeah. Were they playing at the Phillies?
They were. Okay. And so the home crowd was chanting for their MVP now, Kyle Schwarber. And you can see the headline here. Kyle Schwarber hears MVP chants, hits slam to reach 40 homers. Quote, the guy is unbelievable. You know, I go back to even my days in the Cubs, and some of my friends that knew baseball people would say that Kyle Schwarber could hit. You know, he could always hit. And it was always sad to lose him, you know, when the Cubs lost him. And I'm so happy to see him becoming this level caliber of a player. You know?
But I remember when he got traded to the Phillies, we said he found home with the Phillies.
It feels like he's found his home.
And he fits
the
well.
The fans seem to feel like they want him to stay. He's a free agent after this season. So he is making himself a very rich man, however you look at it. He is going to sign a big contract in the offseason.
He's going to stay with the Phillies. That's my prediction.
I predict he will as well. He seems like he likes playing in the city of brotherly love. All right, let's read some of this article. The MVP chant started when Kyle Schwarber stepped up to the plate. The roar continued as he sat on the first pitch of his second at-bat in the sixth, a fastball outside, and escalated when his bat connected with the next pitch, a 95.9 mile per hour fastball. It was a crack so sharp, so clear, all of Citizens Bank Park knew.
Must have been loud.
Philadelphia Phillies fans left from their seats. Edmundo Sosa, Weston Wilson, and Trey Turner watched the ball sail 390 feet and then ran the bases. Pitcher Jesus Luzardo saw the ball fly and knew, with how long the sixth had gone and he was going, he would not return to the game. The ball was gone. Schwarber's second grand slam of the season rocked into the right center stands. Grand slam, second of the season, Nika. Damn.
Nice.
If only Tatis could get half those numbers. Am I right? Sorry, I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop until I see it. Those are the moments you take in as a player, Schwarber said. Those are special things that happen. Those are things that just go in the back of the memory and you hold on to for a while. Man, sounds nice. Sounds amazing.
Padres need a hitter like that.
Oh, man. Well, stay tuned. It might happen before the end of the season. Someone might develop.
All right.
The Grand Slam, Schwarber's 40th homer of the season, sealed a 13-3 win over the Baltimore Orioles on Monday. That's a shellacking. It was his second home run of the game and 10th since his dominance in the All-Star Game swing-off on July 15th. You know, it's so funny. They always say if you do the home run derby, which he did not, but he did do the home run swing-off in the All-Star Game. But they always say when you do contests or competitions like that, you screw yourself up. And in fact, with Schwarber, it seems to have done the opposite.
He found his swing.
He did, and that's why I wanted Fernando to do the home run derby, damn it, is because I thought he might find a swing. All right. Now, Schwarber leads the National League in home runs, sitting second in the majors to only Cal Raleigh of the Seattle Mariners with 42. Yeah. With more home runs comes more difficulty for everyone trying to describe what Schwarber is doing. Manager Rob Thompson listed what Schwarber has accomplished this season. The big hits, the home runs, the RBIs. Harrison Bader, a Phillies player for all of 5 days, says he's watched Schwarber's routine, poise, and work ethic and said, quote, "It really does make sense why he's so successful." You know, I'm so happy to hear this, man.
I know, but we know Kyle Schwarber is a baseball nerd.
He is.
That's all he does, talks baseball.
Yes. We've known this about him since he was a young player with the Cubs, and fortunate enough to know some friends of friends of friends to just know that Kyle Schwarber's a baseball nerd. And I'm really happy he's found a team and an organization to bring the best out of that nerddom. You know, if every baseball player was as nerdy about baseball as Kyle Schwarber was, the league itself would be so much better. I hate to say it like that, but anyways, it was incredible, Thompson said. You hear the MVP chants, and I think they're warranted, Luzardo said. The guy is unbelievable, Bader said. The designated hitter had somewhat of a down June, and down for Schwarber meant a batting average of .214 with 6 home runs and a .756 OPS as he dealt with tougher pitching. From the All-Star break through Sunday, he posted a 1.164 OPS with a .776 slugging percentage. Throwing him a fastball in the zone, as the Orioles did on both home runs, was a grave error. So I wonder if we'll see teams start to try and pitch around Kyle here as he's heated up. The MVP chants, which continued when Schwarber singled in the 8th, are fun. Schwarber said they feed into his efforts at the plate. They make his at-bats even more of an event. But could there be something real to his MVP chances? You know, I want to pause here for 1 second and say a couple things that I think would help a lot of hitters throughout the league. And that is like, you should all view your own at-bats as events. You know, you only have so many chances in the barrel. You only have so many cracks at the apple.
Yeah.
In a season, you know, 600 at-bats. Shit, you could probably take 600 at-bats in spring training in a week.
Yeah.
Just to get ready for those 600 at-bats. They don't get many cracks at the apple. You have to take advantage of them. You have to treat them as precious little events.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Good advice.
I'm going to read that last question again, but could there be something real to his MVP chances? It would require a lot. Hitting 60 home runs would break the franchise record set by Ryan Howard, 58, in 2006, and make him just the second Phillies player in history to reach 50 homers in a season. Obviously, Ryan Howard was the first. Shohei Ohtani, the 3-time MVP, sits third in MLB with 38 home runs. A first-place MVP finish for Schwarber seems unlikely. Yeah, there's that Ohtani guy, Nika, rearing his ugly head. And I just feel like I want to see how this season plays out before we just completely make this kind of a statement like it's unlikely that Kyle. I think he's right there.
Right.
I think he's right in the mix right now. If the Phillies finish with the best record in the NL and get home field advantage in the playoffs, would that not be as a result of Kyle Schwarber playing at an MVP-ish type level? If the Dodgers continue to skid, and they could not, they might not win the NL West right now.
They might.
The Phillies might not win the NL East, to be fair. But, like, let's just wait and see how it all plays out, right? If the Dodgers don't win their division, how is Ohtani the MVP?
Oh, well.
I know.
We don't want to get into this, but yeah.
I'm just making an argument. I feel like the MVP should be based on
the whole season.
And stories. You know, just because somebody doesn't have the best stats of the two doesn't necessarily mean that they're not more valuable to their particular team.
Right.
I don't know. There's people have different fields of argument about this. Anyways, a first place MVP finish for Schwarber seems unlikely. A top 3 or top 5 finish, however, seems within the realm of possibility. I mean, yeah, I buy that, but I again, let's just wait and see how this all plays out. Schwarber, for all his strong seasons, has placed no better than 15th in MVP voting. Cracking the top 5, especially in a contract year, matters, even if Schwarber, for now, is caught up in the day-to-day. Quote, "I'm not trying to go out there and think about records or anything like that," Schwarber said. "I'm just trying to go out on a daily basis and try to help these guys. If breaking Howard's record happens, it's great. If it doesn't, it's great. Helping the other guys has been key since the All-Star break ended July 18th. Schwarber has 10 homers since then. Bryce Harper has 7. Their power hitting slowly has caught on." So seems like Kyle's been viewed as sort of a catalyst right now for the Phillies and for getting Bryce Harper even starting to reach the fences again. So that's good, and that is what an MVP does. Like, he elevates the other players around him as well. And you hear from Harrison Bader from like taking in his routine, the professionalism which he approaches the game. Again, that nerdiness, right? They've tapped into it, and they've unleashed Kyle Schwarber. The Phillies, from opening day through the end of June, ranked 16th with 89 home runs. Since the All-Star break, the club leads the league in homers, Nika. Wow, can we pass some of that power to the Padres, please? Oh, my gosh, that's a story for another time. Monday marked the Phillies' first game with 6 home runs since September 6th, 2021. So 6 long balls last night. Man, the slugging percentage must have been off the charts, I'd say.
Kidding.
Off the charts. Harper homered in the first inning, Schwarber in the third. Then, with 2 outs in the 6th, the rest of the lineup came together. Bader had his first hit in a Phillies uniform, a 3-run homer to provide a 6-3 lead. 5 batters and 3 hits later, Schwarber hit the grand slam.
Nice.
The power, long a question mark for this team, seems to have arrived. There is also something to be said about the Phillies, and not just Schwarber and Harper, delivering timely hits late in close games as they did Friday and Monday. The combination, should the Phillies continue to embrace it, could be crucial. "Home runs excite the crowd," Schwarber said. "It excites the dugout. You can kind of feel that energy, and it kind of carry over to the next at-bat for someone. You get the fans energetic, they're still going, and the next thing you know, it's more runs, more runs, more runs." And that's a powerful statement to end this with. As we head towards October, as we've been talking about a lot today, the playoffs are slowly coming, Nika. And it's hard to ignore what he says here, right? That home run in the playoffs can be the equalizer. It can be the difference maker. It can turn a great outing into a miserable one in the crack of a bat. And it is powerful. It is a powerful weapon. And if the Phillies find their power, look out. I think they might go all the way. And I would not necessarily hate that, even though my loyalties and my love go out to my Friar faithful, and I want the Padres more than anything to win it all this year. They pushed all in. But they need to start hitting home runs like the Phillies have, and because they're at the bottom of the barrel right now. So when you see what Schwarber's been able to do here, how he's been able to turn it on, become an MVP level player for his team. This is what the Padres need Tatis to do. Not Machado necessarily, although because he's been doing it. But they need it all to start lifting and elevating each other around them, just as the Phillies seem to be doing here. So I'm envious of the Phillies. That's why I'm sharing this story. But I'm also excited for Kyle Schwarber because he's our guy. Like going back to the Wrigley days and that 2016 title. Like, I love Kyle, and I'm happy to see him, and I hope he does overtake Ohtani for MVP.
That would be great. Have somebody else at the top for
at
one
least
season.
Make it a conversation, right?
Absolutely.
Here's the last picture of this slide, Nika. It's a photo, but the caption reads, "Kyle Schwarber became the fastest player in Phillies history to reach the 40-homer plateau, doing it in the team's 112th game." So congratulations again to Kyle Schwarber for this milestone achievement in Phillies history.
Yay. Little Bambino.
Little Bambino. Round in the basement.